How about an action flick that's a huge mix of Top Gear, Gone in 60 Seconds, Ronin, the Fast and the Furious franchise, and even a little bit of John Wick? You might want to check out the Netflix original film Lost Bullet. There's car chases, explosions, and a little bit of drama. A mechanic is recruited by a special police force to help make their cars ready and fast enough to chase down drug smugglers. Things go wrong at one point and he finds himself accused of murder and has to prove his innocence. This French film is a little lacking in the overall story development area. I mean, you get the gist of where it's going, but there are some relational parts that just don't make any sense, and there's not enough put into them for us to even feel anything. We're just asked to accept them without the detail. That also sets up some supposed tension, but because we're not shown the relationship details, that tension is pretty much non-existent. And then the overall premise for the movie, the drug smugglers, it's not really addressed or even talked about or followed, outside of maybe 1 or 2 lines of dialogue. So the story itself, you just kind of have to go with and accept. Now the bad guy is obvious from like 12 minutes in, but luckily the reveal of the bad guy comes shortly after that, so it doesn't really ruin the enjoyment too much. Bad guy is also a little bit comical to me. I mean, he's kind of over the top at different points. And you get it in some circumstances because if he's angry or frustrated, he would be acting out. But at other times, he just feels a little larger than life. And again, because we don't have any type of setup or any type of development around this, we still just kind of have to go with it. When there's action in this, it's a lot of fun. We get some close quarter battles and even some hand-to-hand combat. And you look at it and you go, oh my gosh, any one of these moves would totally incapacitate somebody. But in this, they're just going to keep getting up and fighting more and more. And it does become fun. I mean, that's where it reminds me a little bit of John Wick, especially in the hand-to-hand fighting, because hey, everything is a weapon. And if you think about it, when you're in a fight, if you were in a fight for your life or trying to escape or whatever that is, you are going to fight tooth and nail until you can escape. The car chases are a lot of fun, but there's not nearly as many of them as you would expect, or I thought that there was going to be in a film that is totally, supposedly, about cars and a mechanic who fixes cars to go fast. And 2 of the most exciting parts of car chases were shown in the trailer. So if you haven't seen the trailer, don't watch it. Just go into the movie, because it was a bummer to me, because like I said, they were 2 of the most exciting parts of the car chase scenes, and I had already seen them. The lead actor is played by Albin Lenoir, and he is brooding and kind of angry or sad, and he's just kind of stoic at times. But also we do get to see a little bit of other emotions from him. And so I enjoyed him. He began to grow on me despite not really having any development on him. Almost all of the characters are disposable because we don't have any real reason to care about their well-being. I mean, good guys, bad guys, they're all just surface level. I really think there should have been a little bit more time focused on at least a couple of the characters, so we could just care about them more, that we could become invested in them, that then they become truly a part of the story, and it makes it more compelling. The story itself is pretty simple. It's not overly deep, but it is still kind of fun. And you take into account that the setup and the mystery are really obvious, but the action kind of makes up a little bit for that. And the movie's only 92 minutes, so it is a quick watch, but surprisingly, there are a couple of moments where the pace it feels like it drags some. And maybe that's because I'm anticipating another action scene coming up, and I just want to get to that, because what I'm seeing here, because again, I don't necessarily care about all of the characters, and there's not really much of a story going on. I mean, there is some story, but it's not deep, and it's not complex, and so I don't have to totally focus on it. I just want to get to the next action sequence. And so when it sits there and has some exposition or just some montages or just nothing, let's move it along. Now, going back to the action scenes, most of the car chase scenes and those action type of things, they're shot really well. I mean, we're close enough to feel that we are in the action, but we're also far enough away to actually see what's going on. There's nothing worse than being so close to something that you see things happening around you, but you don't get to experience the full breadth of everything and how it's affecting everybody in the scene. There is a good sense of speed, there's a good sense of danger involved, and it is exciting. I just wish that there would have been more to it, and that we would have seen more action sequences outside of what we already saw in the trailer. If you're looking for something fun that's not too deep, with some decent action and something that's a pretty quick watch. It's not going to eat a lot of your time. You might want to give this one a watch. There's no sex or nudity, a lot of profanity, and a bunch of violence. I give Lost Bullet 3 out of 5 couches. Do you like car chase movies? Do you have a favorite one? What is yours? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, please give it a like. Also, don't forget to share and subscribe. I'm Chris. This is Movies and Munchies. Thanks for catching with me.